Hi, my name is Marie, and today I'm going to be reading the first chapter / prologue of Young and Beautiful by VelvetOscar. This is a Larry Stylinson fanfiction. It is posted on AO3, Archive of Our Own, and I believe Wattpad. I don't really get on Wattpad. I am usually on AO3. This work is not mine. I am simply reading it, and full everything, nothing is mine besides my voice. It's all VelvetOscar. She's an amazing author, like my favorite. This is my favorite fan fiction I've ever read, even if I'm not really even involved in the Larry fandom anymore. But it is forever my favorite fan fiction ever. It's the most well-written, beautiful thing ever. And I really wanted to narrate it, read it out loud, and record it, post it, whatever. Because I've had so many instances where I would love to just listen to the fan fictions I read. And obviously that's just not a thing, at least I found, or at least the fan fictions I like. And so this is a purely selfish thing. I don't expect a lot of people to listen or watch whatever. And so, yes. With that said, I will never put ads on the videos. I will never make a profit off of this. This is purely just fan to fan kind of thing. If it is an issue with any of the stories I read, I will, of course, take it down. I will respect all the authors. It is their work. It is their everything. And with that said, what I'm going to be doing to not take any kind of traction away from the actual story, of course, I'll have links to everything, and it's very obvious it's not my story. But I am going to do one chapter, skip a chapter, one chapter, skip a chapter, and or one chapter, skip a chapter, two chapters, skip a chapter. I think it depends. Like if there's a big moment in the story, I might do two chapters in a row and then skip a chapter. Anyways, the point is, the whole story will not be on my YouTube, of course, because that, if you know anything about the no sleep community and the narrators for that stuff, I feel like it's pretty similar. And, they don't get anything, and these YouTubers are out here, making profit off of their stories. They just put a good voice and some creepy audio to it. And I'm very well aware that's similar to what I'm doing, but that is why I'm clarifying that no money is to be made off of these. But if it is a problem, of course, I will take it down. I think that should cover it. The other thing is, and I don't expect a lot of people to like or subscribe, honestly. This is a very niche thing I'm doing, but I understand if you don't like that I am female presenting. My voice is obviously more on the female side, even though I do have a decently deep voice. I almost did a voice changer and it just sounded too weird. It sounded fake and wrong. Also, this is to do just with this story because this is a Larry Stylinson fanfiction. And of course, One Direction, they are British. I am not reading this in a British accent because no one wants to hear that. Okay. I am from Texas. I don't have a strong accent, but that might come out. So maybe it's a little jarring. Maybe it's not everyone's cup of tea, So I understand if you would rather not listen to this because it's a female narrating a male narrated story. And I am not speaking in a British accent. I'm sorry, I'm not British. I ain't gonna fake it because I will break it. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, this intro is very long and I'm sorry, but this is the only time this intro will be here. I'll probably put a text disclaimer on every other chapter and video I do. And I am very open to criticism. I mean, don't be mean, you know what I mean? But I've done other YouTube stuff and everything. And honestly, this mic is pretty new and it's very sensitive. So I'm still figuring out how to not pop my peas. how to not pop my peas and not have like as much mouth noise. Like, I don't know if that bothers other people. Sometimes it bothers people. I can't really help it. It's just kind of my mouth. Anyways, I am open to like, if you think I need to lower the gain, up the gain, if I just suck, actually don't say that to me. You're not my cup of tea. You can say that, okay? Anyways, I'm going to shut up now. This will be the shortest of the videos for this because it is the prologue. I've already read the other chapter I plan on posting, which is chapter 3. And that is a big boy. They're a big boy. Yes, they are. And yeah. So a lot of them, the rest of them will be a lot longer. And yes, I am going to be doing other fandoms and other fan fictions. You can, if you want, is anyone listening? Suggest me stories. But the thing is, it's kind of like in school, like when they tell, like, make you read a book and like you're not interested, it's not that fun. Honestly, if like I haven't already read that fan fiction or I'm not very into that ship and stuff like that, then it's not as fun. So like you can suggest to me and maybe I love that fic and I'll do it. And I'm like, oh my God, of course. So, but like no guarantees. Okay. And yeah. Be nice about my voice. It's my voice. I can't really change it that much. So with that, let's get started. I'll shut up. Bye. Chapter 1, Prologue. The room is far too elaborately furnished, smells of polish, and nearly fucking glows in the afternoon light. It's essentially an advert for a home and gardening network. It's gorgeous, of course, with its honeywood floors and cream-colored walls, picturesque windows peppering every room, and the plushiest and most ornate furniture in the style of Baroque, for the love of God, clustered in the most artful patterns. It's luxurious and posh, and Louis abso-fucking-lutely detests it. Not because it isn't nice. He's not an idiot, but because of what it is, what it means. Here he is, having maintained a perfectly, tediously normal and economically responsible life without his father's money. Thank you very much. And now, as per the agreement struck between mother and father dearest in that nasty bit of divorce some years past, the latter had taken to insist that Louis attend the most awkwardly prestigious university England has to offer. No pressure, of course. Still, better yet, Father Dearest didn't even spring for a single. He insisted upon forcing Louis into one of the overly compensating deluxe suites, the ones that require a flatmate. So, not only is Louis being forced to enter a school completely out of his realm of expertise, because he was quite the social butterfly in the natural world, had a knack for making too many friends, if anything. He's now contractually obligated to share his space with some pretentious twat who shits money and plays a pretty game of thinly veiled superiority. No, he hasn't met his said flatmate, and no, he doesn't need to in order to form judgment. Louis has never been equipped to handle these situations with much grace. His mother always said his fiery tongue would be his downfall, were he not able to keep it in check. And keeping it in check is just something Louis does not do. With a plonk that seems at odds with the fine setting, Louis drops his armful of bags and bits, sighing dramatically as he surveys his surroundings. Feeling a bit poetic. This is, after all, the opening scene to his tragedy. He sashays to the window, peering out at the ancient buildings entwined with ivy, settled in the vibrant green grass before him. His room sits on the ground, he once again notes with distaste. His windows are incredibly low, providing easy entry for any entitled shit-faced intruder to hop in without any difficulty whatsoever. One could, quite literally, just throw a leg over and they'd be inside his flat, which is just excellent. Not that Louis possesses anything these little Midases would want, excluding impeccable style, grace, and full personality. Not to mention morals and a solid work ethic. Well, mostly solid. Oh my God, comes the son voice from the door. Louis turns to see his mom gaping at their surroundings, eyes scrambling to take it all in. I know, it's a bit much, isn't it? Louis remarks offhandedly, hands in pockets. It's something, she breathes in a low tone, and Louis doesn't miss the bitterness that lies just below the surface. Your father certainly has a knack for the most showy of choices. When it involves public perception, of course. Louis quirks an eyebrow. Yes, Charles does, doesn't he? He replies delicately, placing special emphasis on the name. He's never been particularly comfortable with the term father. With one last unimpressed glance out the window, he sighs and saunters forward. Come on then, let's just get it all in here. His mom nods, still gaping with narrowed eyes before following him out the door. His mom left after they hauled box after box into Louis's new abode. The murky cardboard contrasting against gilt picture frames and varnished ebony that had absolutely no place in a 21st century suite at school. Seriously, why the fuck was everything gold? It's uni, not Versailles. I'll see you soon? His mother asked before she exited, voice teetering on the brink of frailty. Louis nodded, doing his best to resist rolling his eyes in pained exaggeration. He was a good person. He really was. Open doors for little old ladies and all that. But his mother had a penchant for weakness and self-indulgent distractions, something he nor his sisters could ever really afford. Of course, Mom, I'll be back before you know it. One morning you'll just wake up and there I'll be, sitting at the table and demanding breakfast. Or I could visit you, she uttered with childish hope. Mom, Louis sighed, lacing his words with fiend patience. I'll let you know. The term hasn't even started yet, all right? She nodded, sad eyes gazing into his, imploring. Right, time to go. Without transition, Louis wrapped impatient arms around his mother. Thank you again for everything. Goodbye, I love you. He pressed a stiff kiss to her cheek. Tell the girls I'll miss them, but only sometimes. Ban them from my room and keep an eye out, all right? Don't forget about them. She nodded, eyes still sad. I won't. Goodbye, Boo. I'll miss you, my darling. Best get going. Time is money, was his response, sung in an overly chipper tone. He watched her leave for only a moment before turning to the task at hand, mind still settled in the suitcases that littered the shining floors. So now, Louis is alone, faced with duct tape boxes, showy walls that mock him with his non-designer shoes. No flatmate, yet, and a very real sense of drowning. Well, he mumbles, sniffing as he surveys his luxurious surroundings with hopelessness. I suppose this is where it all begins.